So let's try to do, let me explain to you how it works with the harmonic structures that you see. When you see a chord that says, for an example, E7 or a C minor 7 flat 5, etc., it's hard to know how to work these things out. Now, I will tell you the most important thing you can do for yourself, and I learned this very early in my career, is memorize the scales. Memorize all your major scales and all your minor scales. It's just gonna make life a lot easier than to be counting half steps and whole steps and that kind of thing. So let's dive right in. The way harmonic structures are constructed are, and I'm gonna use C major as an example. So you have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and we're gonna end it, well, we can end it with C. Anyway, so the first thing I want you to memorize is the sequence. So when you have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and you can keep going, C, D, E, F, etc., etc. Memorizing these sequences is super important because it always is the same thing. If you do the D major scale, it's going to start on D and it's going to go all the way to D, and you're going to have D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. Of course, you change the key signature, but the sequence of letters is the same. So if you learn the sequence of letters, it's going to make your life a lot easier to memorize things. The next thing you want to do is also memorize the sequence of harmonic structure. So the way you construct harmony, this is the C major scale. The way you construct a harmonic structure is by skipping a note. You have, oh, sorry. So you have C, E, G, and B. And that's when you have a C, E, G, B, which is the same as a C major 7. You can also write it as C major 7. I use the delta symbol because I think it's quicker and faster. That's how you construct a harmony. You're skipping a note, and you create this triad. So it's super important that you memorize this sequence of skipping. So I'm just going to point it out to you. Look, C, E, G, B. So it's going to be C, E, G, B, right? Then the next one, we're going to stack them up. So the next one is going to be D, F, A, C. So you have D, F, A, C. You see we're skipping a note every time. Let's continue. E, G, B, D, F, A, C, E, G, B, D, oh, sorry. G, B, D, F, A, C, E, G, B, B, D, F, A, and C, E, G, B. So these would be the harmonies that are created by stacking up thirds from each one of these notes that are right here, right? And so let me explain to you a little bit of what each one of these means. So first of all, you want to memorize the sequence. The same way you memorize C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, you also want to memorize the harmony. So C, E, G, B, D, F, A, 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 C, E, G, B. The reason why you want to do that is the same way that this sequence moves like this. These harmonic sequences are always going to be the same letters. They just change the key signatures, right? So, so let's look at each one. If we analyze each one of these chords, so let's do this one first. So if we do the first chord, this one, it's a C major 7. All right? just bear with me because we're going to talk about why is that a C major 7. But each one of these chords will have a name on their own. This one right here, it's a D minor 7. This one right here, it's an E minor 7. Here, this is an F major 7. This one, this is A G 7. Here is an A minor 7. This is a B minor 7. And well, the last one we know where it is. So if you look at this, each one of these forms a different chord. This one has this one, this one has this one, this one has this one. And they have different symbolisms between minor and major. You see? So let's look at each one of these. By the way, let's do the numbers. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's a G, 6, and 7. And you're going to find in jazz a lot of 2, 5, and 1s, which is one of those things that you find a lot in music, and especially in jazz composition where you're improvising. So when somebody is looking at a 2-5-1 progression on the sheet of music, which we're going to talk about in the future, I round everything up. I can figure out what scale to improvise over those chords because I know this in my mind. So let's look at each one of these chords and why they are what they are. On the other video, the one that I sent before, I was explaining about the natural half steps and all that stuff. You might want to look at that again. So let's dig into C major. Has C major 7, okay? The triad, the first 3 notes are implied in this area right here, which means that you're going to have a C, E, and a G. This over here, this little thing here, tells me that the C, the B, which is the 7, is a major 7. Let's look at the next one. The next one that says D minor 7. Now, if you have a minor symbol, it is affecting this area right here. And I will have a D, an F, not an F sharp, because remember what I said about half steps. You know, to have a minor, you have 3 half steps. If you have a major, you have 4 half steps. So between D and F, there's 3 half steps. Between C and E, there is 4 half steps. So in this case, you're having 3 half steps. So you have D minor, D, F, A, right? So 1, 3, 5. And then the 7, it's a lowered 7 because it doesn't have the major symbol. So the 7, it's on its own. So D, F, A, C. And that is going to be your minor. The next one is an E minor. E minor 7. Again, this here affects this. So you have E, G natural, because the minor third, it would be a G sharp if it was a major third. E, G, B, and the 7th, D, which the 7 is on its own, right? Let's look at the next one. The next one says F major 7. So this major symbol is affecting the 7. The F, without anything, implies that it has a major. So you're going to have F, A, right? C, which is our triad. F, A is a major third. If it was A flat, it would be a minor third. F, A, C, and your 7, which is E, major 7. Let's look at the next one. So the next one is going to be G7. G7. So whenever you don't have a symbol in between the number and the letter, that means that the first part here is major. It has a major major third. So you have G, B, and D. 1, 3, 5. This is the major triad. And the 7th is a lowered 7 because it doesn't have the major symbol. So it's going to be an F, not an F sharp. Let's keep going. The next one we're going to have is an A minor, 7. Again, this here is affected. A minor triad. So you have A, C, E, instead of A, C sharp, which would be major. A, C, between A and C, you have a minor third, right? 3 half steps. And the 7th, which is going to be G. The 7 is lowered because it doesn't have a major symbol on it. And the last one, let's go B minor 7. So we're going to go B, D, F, because our triad is a minor triad. And the 7th is lower, B, D, F, A. So just remember, if it doesn't have the symbol of major, it's only by itself, that means that the 7th is lowered. If the chord has a symbol, like a minor, then it means that you have a minor third. The 5 is not affected. If you have this, that means that the third is major. And if you have, for example, something like this, minor flat 5, of course you're going to have a minor third and the flat 5 in it. So I hope this helped a little bit, the explanation. Study